Good morning, patients and visionaries. If you've been following my channel, you know my name is Johan van Zyl, and today we will be talking about convergence insufficiency. But before I get there, you might have noticed that I haven't been posting anything for a week or two. It's simply because I've been to the dermatologist, and if you live in a sunny climate and you're outdoors often, please make sure you go and see your skin doctor, your dermatologist as you grow older. And as you noticed, the dermatologist actually, he really went to town on my skin. So, right, let's get started on what is convergence insufficiency. And these topics which I discuss on my YouTube channel is things which I see literally every week in the practice. That convergence is the ability to actually converge, to bring your two eye muscles in so that you can look at an object that's close up. Convergence insufficiency is the inability to actually converge. Your eyes cannot actually come in. Now, why does this happen? What's going on? And what can we do to actually fix this problem? Now, you won't believe it, but if you focus, especially if you're younger, the eye lens inside actually starts to work. And the brain has learned over years that if the lens inside the eye works, the eye also activates this inside lens, this inside muscle, activates the outside one. So there's a relationship between the effort of the inside lens, your eye lens that focuses the light, and the muscle outside which turns the eyes inward. Now, convergence insufficiency is where there's a problem between this relationship very often between the internal eye muscle and the extraocular or the outside eye muscle. Now, you might think that this is just for people that gets older, that this problem exists. But if you look at a young lady, this is an interesting case. I recently saw her and I was not aware that she was a parachute instructor and that she couldn't wear glasses. Now, why is this relevant? Simply because when you have a convergence problem, very often we actually have to give you prisms. And in my next video, you'll have a look at my prisms. What's prisms? But convergence, you need to do eye exercises and you need to sometimes wear prisms. Now, as you can see, this lady actually could not converge her eyes. Now, why is that important? That if you cannot do that, why is that important? And as I said, it's not just for older people that this happens. It happens across all age groups. And of course, it happens now quite often with children. Now, with children especially, it can be devastating if you cannot converge, because a child that cannot converge, he cannot read comfortably, his ability to learn gets impacted. And very often, parents and teachers might think that the child is just not clever enough. It's not that. And it's actually quite a common problem. They suspect that between 2 and 8% of the general population actually has convergence insufficiency. And it's getting more. Now, why is it getting more? Because a lot of our children today actually is becoming short-sighted. So this muscle inside, the one that has to work to focus the light, that lens, this lens is not working so much. And if this lens inside isn't doing enough work, the outside one, which actually pulls the eyes in, is not working as well because there's a relationship between the two. So very often we find with children that they might develop either a type of a squint, or worst case scenario, they develop a type of a squint and the brain just switches the eye off. They develop what we call amblyopia. Now with children, we always advise our parents to make sure that your child goes to an optometrist and that they actually check the convergence. Now, one of my exercises which I do on my YouTube channel is called, very simply, Sky Nose. Sky Nose. And this is again an exercise which really tires out the eyes very quickly and shows apparent convergence problems. Now, as you see, I have two patients here that has actually both got convergence problems. And it's something that we actually see quite often in the practice. And for one or other reason, it doesn't get picked up quite often. Now, this can impact your reading ability, as I mentioned, your ability to absorb information. It can even cause something like double vision, amblyopia, vertigo, a range of problems, especially if you're doing computer work. Look at your nose. Look at your nose. Look at your nose. Is it the best you can do? Concentrate. Look at your nose. Look at your nose. Okay, right. You can leave it. So prisms actually change the light and it makes it easier for the eyes to converge as such. Now, a prism is actually a lens that bends light. Now, if you look at this lens, you'll see it's thick on the one side. Let me come a little bit closer. And it's thin on the other side. But look at what this thing does. It does this. You'll see that it moves my head all over the show if I do that. Now, prism has got this ability to actually change the image path. Now, if the eyes can converge a little bit, and we put some prisms in, we can get those two eyes working together. Now, convergence insufficiency actually responds very well to visual training. So you can have a look at my YouTube video on eye exercises, especially the Brock string. The Brock string one is the most important home exercise that you can do if you have any type of convergence insufficiency. Of course, sometimes we have to do prisms plus visual therapy, and that is normally the best thing to do, is to combine prisms with visual therapy. If you have just a very small convergence insufficiency, we most likely won't even prescribe prisms. But if the convergence insufficiency is actually quite visible, or you find that your eyes cannot sustain, you can't look at your nose like that, you don't have that ability to sustain that, then we suggest normally that we prescribe prisms and we do visual therapy. And if you want to have a look at my video on eye exercises, I'll include the link below.